All right,
with
Kathy,
the
this is what you
Philadelphia
get.
Tribune. How are you, gentlemen?
Terrible.
Terrible.
I
How
can
you, how
tell.
you doing?
I'm doing good. I can tell.
We're,
Um,
we're
I
happy now that you're here. We're
Yes,
lonely.
Kathy, you're just as beautiful as you want to be.
thank you. Appreciate it. I really like this. We don't get a lot of bromance
You don't.
This is
series
what you
unless
get.
it's like centered around sports. And oddly enough, me being from Philadelphia, shout out the Phillies. And I love the
Ba, ba,
fact
ba,
that
ba.
each one of you got to have your episode and tell your story. And most
Why you
importantly, I
gonna
love the
do this?
intersectionality of straight men being best friends with a gentleman who happens to be gay. So talk about that because those friendships exist and it's not like, weird.
Yeah.
Talk about things just like you would with everyone else.
Yeah.
And we know there's a gazillion gay men that love sports, have played sports,
That's
including
right.
sports, that aspect. So let's start with you, Jonathan, because I think the fact that you just got to be, which I think is how the world is. Like we didn't
Yeah.
have to have a backstory and all
Right.
the weird stuff that people like to throw around.
Right. Well, yeah. So the best part about telling this story with the groomsmen and the story of friendship, I think it's the year of the bromance. If you look at movies like Deadpool and Wolverine and all those movies, that like the iconic bromances are really coming to life. And I think it's not that there's something new. It's just there's something new that we're telling stories about. They exist every day, everywhere. And I think what is so special in the story that I wanted to tell is, in my life, I'm a gay man, but I have a whole bunch of gay friends and I have a whole bunch of straight friends. And when we're all getting married, my straight friends are coming to my wedding. I'm going to their weddings. I'm in their wedding party. They're in my wedding party. And so that's kind of the story that I wanted to tell because it's something I hadn't really seen in movies before. And I said, why aren't movies reflecting what's really happening in real life? And so that's kind of how the Groomsmen was formed. It doesn't matter if they're gay, straight, it doesn't matter who they are. They just are friends. And we're going to tell the story of friendship. And I also think what the Groomsmen does so well is it shows grown men being vulnerable and talking to each other about their emotions, which we all have our group of, our group of buddies, like our family, our core group of friends that we talk about our fears. We talk about our, things that we're struggling with, and we share those. And being able to tell a story where you see three grown men who they take the piss out of each other, they make fun of each other, they tease each other, which is what happens in groups of friends, but they also are there to listen and help one another. And so I wanted to show men doing that in a movie because hopefully people watching it will then have the almost the courage or the availability to be able to share their stories with their friends as well. I think that's really important.
What about you, BJ and Tyler? What are your thoughts on the dynamic of the friendship? Because I also love that they call each other on their ish, That's important to me.
That's the big thing, right?
Yeah,
that's a real group of friends, right?
Yeah, I mean, for me, what you see is what you get in the films.
Yeah.
Like, not just yes men who are like, oh, is this idea good? Yeah, let's do that. We call each other out on, like you said, your ish, or we hold each other accountable, or at the same time, if it's a good idea and it's a bad idea, we're like, you should rethink that.
Yeah.
But at the same,
your good friends will tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Your brothers and your best friends will tell you what you don't.
That's family.
And that's what the groomsmen do. You can't, it's that group of guys that you can't get one over on. Like if Tyler's saying, oh no, I'm fine. Me and BJ can look at him and go, you're not fine.
Yeah.
Stop playing. Like what's the deal? And so I think that's what these movies talk about a lot. And I think that's what they share.
I also like
You're
that
not fine.
You're
You're not fine, Tyler. We'll talk about this after. We'll talk about it later.
Tyler, I did like how your character was like, wait a minute, so you want to implode the wedding to John's character? No, sir, we're not doing that. Like just because now all of a sudden you decided this is something you want to do. I love how he was like, no, we're not doing that, friend.
Yeah.
I mean, what's funny about did you watch all three movies?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
wow.
nice.
Wow.
Love
How were they?
How did you like
yeah, exactly.
You're the first person.
I enjoyed it. I love the fact that, I was like, at first I was like, maybe he's going to be like, go for it. But he was like, you waited until now till the wedding to do it. Is this like an impulse thing? Are you serious? And if you're not serious, it's a hard no for me. And I was like, I appreciate that, you know?
Yeah. Life is messy, and that's what's so lovely about these movies, I think, is you know, we come to this channel to have a very specific kind of experience. But it doesn't mean that there's not room to expand on that experience and find more substance and find more beauty in the mess that is life, with staying within the feeling and the safety that this channel provides. And I think these 3 movies do kind of all of that across the board in terms of female characters, male characters. There's a good balance, young characters, older characters. You see such a breadth of points of view, sort of gathered around, yes, a central theme of this brotherhood and this friendship, this chosen family that we all can kind of relate to, I think, in our personal lives. But it's inclusive of everybody around them, and telling that story through them is what makes it a unique experience that can kind of touch on every facet of life and type of person who might be watching it. So it doesn't seem to leave anybody out, which I think is a really tough and rare thing, especially doing it in a way that includes the mess of life, but does it in a way that is safe and wonderful and celebrates the beauty of it all.
You need to save that soundbite because that is fantastic.
Oh, you like
you're
that?
You're going to
Did I
repeat
do that?
that. Yes, that's the.
I've already forgotten it, guys.
He's the one
No,
he's our spokesperson.
Yeah,
we will refer all questions to Tyler.
I'm fine.
No, you're not.
No, you're
No.
not, bro.
Thank you guys. I want to say I really enjoyed this, and thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me, and best of luck with the project.
Thank you.
Thank you
Kathy.
so